What's up, guys? What's going on? I'm Paul. This is Pauline Theology's Daily Devotional, man, and we are going through the book of John. We're in John chapter 20, and we are on verse 5 and 6. Verses 5 and 6. Let me check on that real quick to make sure. We're on verse 4 through 6. See, look at me, man. I'm messing up, but it's okay, guys. We all mess up. That's why we have Jesus, and we're going to see that here in the coming verses as we continue to finish the book of John. Man, we're in the book of John on the last chapter, guys. If you stayed with me this whole time, man, I'm overjoyed because this has been a great book in learning about who Jesus is, man. Anyway, we're on John chapter 21, verses 4 through 6. 21, 4 through 6. If you haven't read it, stop the tape, see what it has to say, come back, answer the 4 questions. If you have, then let's dive on in. Man, winter has come. I tell you what, there's like a cold front that come in, man, and it is chilly. Time for soup, guys. Time for soup. If you love soup, man, let me know. Yeah, because the wife, she's excited getting to make tomato soup, and I'm gonna make me some ramen finally. You know what I'm saying? Get to eat some of that warm food. But anyway, let's jump on into it, man. What's going on in the verses? What is happening? Well, we read and looked at last episode that the disciples caught nothing. They went back to fishing, couldn't catch anything. And then it says that the day broke, right? The dawn was coming, and Jesus was there. And Jesus was there, and he asked the question. He said, hey, y'all guys caught anything? They didn't recognize him. They didn't know it was Jesus, man. Maybe it was because it was dark. You know, maybe because the light wasn't bright enough for them to see his face. Maybe his voice was kind of different because, I'm not sure. But they didn't know that it was Jesus. And as he asked them to do this thing, he said, you got anything? They's like, nah. He said, children. Cast your net on the other side. And as they did so, it says that there was so many fish, it was just filled to the brim, so heavy it was hard to carry. The abundance that happens when Jesus steps onto the scene. Now, we can allude a little bit to the fact that maybe this fish is speaking of another occupation for which they are being called to do, fishers of men, and that without Christ, without Him, that there is no there is no salvation. They didn't catch any fish, but when they follow Jesus, when they listen to the words of Jesus, when they recognize the power of Jesus, salvation comes. So much so that it's hard to comprehend how much there is. So what does this say about God? He knows, right? He knows. How do you know about the fish over there? I don't know. Is it, we could say it's natural means by a supernatural nature. And I say that maybe there was more fish over on that side and he knew that. Or maybe it was miraculous means as he dipped as he told them to do so, and they put those nets into the water, that he just created fish to be filled in there, which is not beyond him because he is the God of the universe. But he knows and has the power. That is what John is saying when he says these things. Is that he knows and has the power. What does this say about man? Is that we need to follow. We need to listen and do. Listen and act. Don't just hear. Listen and act. That is what we need to do as Christians. Matter of fact, it's not just as Christians, but as all people need to listen to the word and the voice of Jesus and then follow him so that they might have life in his name. And how do we apply these truths to our lives? I think the obvious thing about applying the truths to our lives today is that we hear the voice of Jesus and do as he says. So where are you at today? What is going on in your life where you need to stop, pause, hear the word of Jesus, and then do it? And sometimes it's hard, man, because we don't recognize him. See, the disciples didn't recognize this was Jesus. But there was something about him. Something about the way in which he spoke, whether it was authoritative or it just pierced in their soul. But when they heard it, they listened. And they did. Maybe it was because they were just tired, man. They ain't caught anything all night, and they were like, man, I'm just going to do it. This guy said something, I'm going to try it. Maybe that's you today. Maybe it's something that's going on in your life, and you are just throwing your hands up. You can't handle it anymore. Try Jesus. Try Jesus. Maybe he'll heal you. Maybe he'll take you to a place of peace and comfort that you've never known before. I appreciate you guys for listening.